Oh, brother, it was a blast. It was a blast. I loved it. I was in heaven. Kevin Owens, I almost got that title, though, didn't I? No, he busted my bubble, man. He attacked me on that ramp. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, such a cool moment to see you back. Obviously, Goldberg's return this past year, I think the hardcore fan was having a little bit of a void there without Gillberg. But now that he's back and you're back, what do you think about this renaissance of the so-called Attitude Era, these legendary figures like you and Goldberg coming back? What do you kind of think about the renaissance that's going on for you guys right now?
I honestly love it, to be honest with you. I love it because what it's doing is, and plus what you got to remember is we get to help the younger talent and teach them what we know, And it helps all the way around. I think it's great. I think they're bringing back a little bit of the old with the new, and that's what we need to do. And it's making the shows a hell of a lot more entertaining, if you ask me.
Well, if you can, just take us back to getting the phone call to show up to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, we were so pumped, like we said, but, when you get the phone call, what's going through your head as this return is now imminent?
Well, actually, I was at work, and I got a phone call, and I looked down because if I don't see the name, I don't answer it. You know what I mean? And I went, uh-oh, I know that area code. So I answered it, and it was John Cohen. He was like, hey, Dwayne, how you doing? I'm like, okay, John, how's it going? He's like, all right, we want to bring you in and use you on Monday night. And I went, really? And he goes, yeah. Are you available? I said, hell yeah, for WWE, I don't care where I am, I'm available. And that's the truth. I've always been like that. I started up there. And he said, okay, we're going to fly you into Vegas, and I'll see you at the building. I didn't know what I was doing, where I was doing, but I kind of, put two and two together. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And we definitely, we're clamoring for it. The Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, they've been such a good duo on television. Obviously, now they're headed in a certain direction, which is going to be interesting in itself. But talk about getting to work with a guy like Kevin Owens, a guy who's really come on the scene in the WWE, made his name on the independent scene, a very big name on the independent scene, but now in the WWE, he's kind of ushered in a new look for a champion and also kind of given other guys opportunities. But what do you think about working with Kevin Owens?
Well, to be honest with you, I was a fan of Kevin Owens. I never knew the guy, but just him as a person and his work and the way, I see, you know what I mean? I think he's a great piece of talent, and to get to work with him, I know now he's a great piece of talent, and exactly the way I imagine him. Super great guy. But we'll kick your ass. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, hard hitter.
No, he's a great guy, great piece of talent. I'm really, really glad I got the opportunity to work with him.
That is so awesome. And again, I'm just so pumped that we are talking to you. And before we start kind of chatting about what you're doing in New Jersey on the 18th of February here, I just got to ask this. And, I said a little bit of his lines from your infamous Survivor Series re-debut, the cornerstone of the WWF, and bring it back. But how was it seeing Vince McMahon for the first time in a while and kind of seeing how this new regime of the WWE and these new stars are kind of all interacting back there?
Actually, Mr. McMahon wasn't there. I've never called him Vince. I always call him Mr. McMahon, always have. He deserves that respect. That's the way my dad raised me. That if he's your boss, you call him Mr. He deserves that respect. You know what I mean? So I've always called him Mr. McMahon, but he wasn't there. But Stephanie was, Hunter was. I got to talk to them. It was great. They're awesome people. They really are. If nobody really knows them, they're great, great, great people. And it was a blast. It was really nice how I was welcomed. You know what I mean? It was like I wasn't even gone. Everybody there made me feel good. Even the people who didn't know who I was at the beginning and then realized who I was, it was great. It was awesome.
Well, we kind of got to see a glimpse of it today down in, your neck of the woods down there in the Washington, D.C. area that Mr. McMahon and the rest of the McMahon family took a pretty prestigious photo op down at the White House
that was
today.
Awesome.
That's kind of been making around.
I thought that was awesome, man. And did you see the captions in a lot of stuff? It has Jesse Ventura talking to Donald Trump saying, yeah, it's time to put a wrestler in the White House. And then they got the McMahon family there with Donald Trump and said, "Look, Jesse, your dream came true."
It's so unbelievable, but it's so cool. But it's just, it's kind of hard for us older fans to see, it's kind of hard. It's awesome to see that, there finally is a wrestling personality in the White House as well as a WWE executive in the White House.
There you go.
Which is so awesome. But,
I think he's great myself. He needs to be a little polished, but but he's great, as far as I think he's going to be a good president. He just needs to relax and, let me say it this way. Everybody that voted for Trump, do you really think they wanted Obama in there when he won? Okay, but what happened? Everybody went home and said, okay, let's see how he does now. He's our president. Let's give Donald the same chance. Let's at least give him 100 days, you know what I mean? But they're protesting, doing everything they can to kill him. I mean, he's our president. No matter what, we are Americans. We did the Democratic way. He won the thing. Let's try and stand behind him and see what happens.
That's very well said. We've had a couple other guys on the show say a very similar backing vocal there, and I second that sentiment. But let's kind of talk about another group on the rise here as we move forward. The SWF in Bayville, New Jersey, this Saturday, February 18th. It's going to be off the charts. But how are you feeling about returning to the great state of New Jersey for the SWF?
Great. I love it. I'm doing an autograph session first from 12 to 2. It's everybody up at the Wrestling University, 3429 Francis Lewis Boulevard in Flushing, Queens, New York.
All right, yes, the Wrestling Universe, one of the best places where you can get a wrestling autograph. The scene in the background, all the great pieces that they have there, definitely a great spot to be signing autographs. And when you return to the Northeast,
it really is. It's an awesome spot.
Those Northeast fans clamoring for Gillberg. But what do you plan on giving those fans of the SWF as you invade Bayville, New Jersey?
Well, see, you got to keep that to yourself. They got to check it out, man, when they get there. You got to keep a little suspense in there. I'm going to hit them with 100% Gillberg, though. I'll tell you that. We're going to have some fun.
Now, obviously, Gillberg is what you're known for. A lot of people know you as Gillberg. Very, very popular character. What is the relationship like with Goldberg? Obviously, you being kind of a parody of him. Is there a relationship there?
Well, I mean, we don't hang out. The first time I met him, he hated my guts. And second time I met him was about 8 or 9 months ago at an autograph session in New York. And he was really nice and cordial. And I had, the guy who brought me in, I had him talk to the guy who brought him in and said, I want a photo op with him, man. I want to get a picture with him and all. He's like, tell him, come on down, man. I went on down. As soon as I walked in, he picked me up, put me up on his shoulders, held me up there. So, people were just going nuts with the cameras. And then he put me down, and we stood up there and bullshitted for about 10 minutes. And super nice guy. Was really cool about everything. Laughed his ass off about it. And I told him, I said, good. Now that we're all cool, why don't we make this match? He laughed, and I said, look, you'll make $1 million, I'll make $100,000, we'll be fine, let's get it done. He's like, let's do it, brother. So I don't know if that'll ever happen. I'd love to see it happen.